Hello there. This is Nathanael Rutherford here with Southeastern 14 here with a special guest here for our Lady Vols episode of Southeastern 14 here. Destinee Wells, recent transfer from Belmont here to Tennessee, the newest player to join the Lady Vols. So Destinee, thank you so much for joining me here on Southeastern 14.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, very happy to have you. Love talking to all the new Lady Vol players last year. I had my own podcast and talked to all the new transfers that came in. So very, very happy to have you on. Destinee, I'm just gonna just ask right at the top, what made you choose Tennessee? So I know you had a visit recently. You came over and talked to. I read the piece by Maria Cornelius on 247 Sports about the meeting you had with Coach Harper and sitting down for a meal and everything. But what kind of went into that decision of what made you choose to come to Tennessee over? I'm sure you had. I mean, from what I remember reading the article, had plenty of interest from other schools. So what made Tennessee stand out?
It's being a Tennessee kid. I always watch, Tennessee play, and I've always dreamed of being on a bigger stage. And so I wanted bigger and, new opportunities and kind of a fresh start. And I want to be on a great team to be able to compete for a national championship. So that's why I chose them.
Nice. What was, when you met with Tennessee's coaches, what was their pitch to you? What were they saying to you about, how they envisioned you, with the roster, how they envisioned you just even on campus life? What were the coaches saying to you?
They told me I'd be a really good fit and to fill the point guard spot that they needed. And they feel like I could really help them. And I felt the same way. I want to compete for a national championship. And I feel like I can do that at Tennessee.
Yeah, that was the follow-up talk about, filling the point guard role. That obviously just looking at your stats and from seeing other highlights and stuff, and obviously watching you play against Tennessee last year. I'll get to that in a second. But, what makes, in your opinion, what makes you such an effective point guard? Because you have a great assist to turnover ratio, obviously a good shooter, but what in your mind, when you have to think about great point guards, what in your mind makes you stand out as a solid point guard?
I think that I make the people around me better. I can score when I need to. I can distribute when I need to. And I like to win. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. So I think that's what makes me stand out.
You kind of answered the next question I was going to ask, which was, what would you say is your biggest strength or biggest strengths? And it seems like one of them was making people around you better. But if you had to just say your specific game, what is something that you think, you do better than anyone else, or you do, as well as some of the better players out there?
Being able to read the defense. I think I'm really good in the pick and roll. I can beat you off the dribble. If I get to step on you, I can go score. If you play too much off me, I can shoot the three, and I can distribute too.
Yeah, that matches up with, again, what I remember seeing in Knoxville and what your numbers show too. Speaking of, the numbers and stuff too, I noticed when looking kind of deeper into your stats and stuff that not only were you just have some really good solid averages overall, just really good scoring and assists and everything and shooting, but you also did that against SEC teams. Obviously dropping 22 against the Lady Vols. You, I think, scored 20 points or so multiple times against other SEC teams. Do you consider yourself kind of a clutch player, someone who gets up those big games? Because it seems like, it wasn't just that you were doing this against, teams in the OVC and MVC. Like, again, you were doing it against some higher quality opponents, not just in the SEC, but the ACC. So do you consider yourself, kind of a clutch player or someone that, gets motivated by those big games?
Oh yeah, like I said, I like to win, and I feel like I'm a really good player. And what better time to show it than against some of the best competition?
So again, as mentioned a couple of times now, you played against Lady Vols. I remember watching that game and really thinking you guys were about to pull off that upset. But I got to imagine now, looking back at kind of reflecting on that now, seeing that home environment in Knoxville, in Thompson Bowling Arena, and the crowd there, how big of a selling point was that to you? Also, I know obviously winning a national title is what you want to do, but I imagine the fan support had to play into that. And how excited are you now to have that crowd cheering for you rather than against you?
I mean, it was amazing to even step inside of that arena when we did, and to be able to put on that jersey and play in front of that crowd is a even better feeling. And to know my family will be there supporting me the rest of the way is amazing, and it's like a dream come true for me. Everybody's been so welcoming so far, so I'm excited.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Have you had a chance to talk to a lot of the current players yet?
A few of them, yeah.
Good, good. I'm, I imagine you're finishing up school right now. Do you have a timeline in terms of when you're going to be able to, move over here, come over to Knoxville and start taking, doing practices and stuff over here?
Yeah, I plan to come up this summer and do the workouts and do summer school stuff like that.
Awesome, great. In On the court, what would you say is, from whether it was you want to go back to middle school, high school, or talking about when you got to Belmont, what's one area, if you had to circle it, that you've worked the hardest to improve on and that you've really, tried to get better at and that you feel like you've gotten a lot better at in your game?
My shooting ability, to be able to, pull up in the mid range, use the ball screen, and if they go too far under, pull the three. I try to make myself unguardable, not just be able to get to the rim. You got to be able to shoot the ball too.
Yeah, I mean, you did a pretty good job at the end of this year. I mean, looking at your numbers in the tournament play and stuff. I mean, yeah, you're pretty lights out there. I'm like, you've gotten so much better. You said at shooting. I mean, look at the numbers. You're an excellent 3-point shooter, really good free throw shooter. Again, talking about you can shoot mid range, you do really well. I mean, I gotta say, at the end of this year, did it really just feel like you just were in a rhythm, like you were just kind of in that zone of like, you just couldn't miss, and the bucket seemed like it was as big as the ocean?
Oh yeah, we lost one of our other best players, Tootie Jones, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew if we were going to win, I had to step up and I had to make some shots. And I feel like I'm at my best when when everything's on the line. And I was proud of myself. I was proud of my team at the push we made, and win all those games in a row was amazing.
Yeah, I remember Tootie. You and Tootie both were the ones that were scared me the most last year when you were playing the Lady Vols. I mean, I actually remember thinking, man, it'd be great if we could get one of those players to transfer over here, and now you are. So Destinee, kind of off the court, I always like talking about the players as more than just the players, because you guys are obviously more than just what you are on the court. You are who you are in the classroom, who you are off the court as well. So beginning in the classroom, what is your plan? What do you want to study at UT? I think you have an extra year, because of COVID. I know, you haven't made the decision if you want to use that or not, but what do you want to, study while you're here at Tennessee?
I'm going to go into sports management. Probably be a coach or something. I haven't really narrowed it down yet, so I'm still figuring that out.
Nice. That's hey, come in the right place. There's been a lot of good coaches at Tennessee, which I'm sure you you know about, and
yeah.
a lot of players at Tennessee who've gone on to be coaches. We got a lot of the coaching tree from Tennessee is pretty extensive at this point. So that's a good career path. How about you as a person? I'm interested. What are some of your aspirations? You mentioned coaching, but what are some things you really like to do in your free time when you're not? I'm assuming you're practicing ball a ton, but if it's not basketball, what else are you doing?
I try to go home and spend time with my family. Family is they're a really big part of my life, and my siblings. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. 2 younger brothers, 1 younger sister. And I just love spending time with them and my dad. We watch movies, go in the backyard, play a couple competitive like one-on-one games and one-on-one tournaments, stuff like that. So it's really not much to me outside of basketball. I'm pretty chill, homebody.
That's not true. You said you have siblings. Are any of them getting into sports?
My sister, she's a senior in high school. She's undecided right now, but yeah, she plays. And my brothers are 8 and 10. They're just getting into basketball. So,
well, nice. If they're gonna be anything like their bigger sister, then they have some good genes in their family for basketball. You mentioned you'll watch like movies. Do you have any favorite movies?
I like scary movies. The Insidious and The Conjuring. Those are my favorite.
All right. So we have a scary movie fan here. That's pretty cool. I bet there'll be plenty of movie nights in your future for your teammates in here, because I know they've made a point to, especially after COVID happened, try to do a lot of team bonding and experience and stuff. So I imagine you'll have a chance to do a lot of that. But Destinee, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want Lady Vol fans? And I imagine Lady Vol fans are again, they probably already read the piece by Maria Cornelius, so they've already probably gotten a good glimpse into that. But is there anything else you want Lady Vol fans or Tennessee fans in general to know about you, or before you head over here?
Like I said, it's not really much to me, but I just want to say, like, I appreciate all the support I've been getting since announcing my commitment. It's been great, and can't wait to get up there with you guys this summer.
Awesome. But Destinee, thank you so much for joining me again. You'll follow her on Twitter. Just easy to find Destinee Wells. Again, yeah, she's had a ton of interaction with the tweets since she committed. So we are all very excited to come and watch you play in the orange and white and the blue next season for the Lady Vols. So thank you so much, Destinee. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.